Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla, and today on the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast, we welcome Moy Cohen. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so your latest EP, Overgrown, just came out. What has the reception been like?
It's been really good, really positive. It's been a long time coming, and I know people close to me have all heard the songs many, many, many times before. But yeah, it's been really lovely. I've received lots of nice messages from people hearing the songs for the first time, and yeah, and people are listening and enjoying it, which is yeah, it's cool. It's all I ever wanted it to be, more than I kind of released it with no real expectation, and so far it's doing really really well.
Awesome. So what was the kind of the inspiration behind it?
So I think all of the songs, they're all songs that I wrote when I was between sort of 15 and 17 years old,
Mhm.
and they all talk about really, difficult things that I went through growing up. I had I had kind of a turbulent childhood, just with my parents getting divorced, moving around between England and Mexico quite a lot. So I guess I started really writing songs as a way to deal with that myself, as a way of sort of self-therapy, and and then yeah, started putting them into songs and realized the songs were quite good. So yeah, um, that's what the EP is about. It's about sort of like a teenager going through these difficult times and making sense of it. Um, and yeah.
Love that you drew from like your personal experience and old songs that you had written. So from when you first wrote those songs to now, have they undergone major changes or any changes to them?
Some of them have changed quite a bit, just because when I wrote them, I was kind of recording on my laptop, so like they sound very different, because they're professionally recorded, and we changed the tempo and the key on some of them because my voice had changed. But really, we try to keep them as close to the original as possible. So, for example, Childhood Photographs, the main single that I released before the EP, that one is really close to what the original was like. And I think we consciously made an effort to do that, when we were producing it, because really this is my introduction to the world as a musician, and we didn't want to go with anything overproduced. We wanted it to be raw, with a focus on the lyrics, and on on the lyrics and on the melodies, and on my voice being like the forefront. So yeah, I think we achieved that, because the stories that I tell in the songs are so personal to me that it made sense for that to be the sort of focus, and to keep it close to that, you know, 15, 16, 17-year-old version of myself.
What was it like kind of putting out this EP that's so personal to you? How did that feel?
It's actually was quite a cathartic release. I think when you write things that are so personal to you, um, you kind of, if you're not releasing it, you're kind of keeping it with you, keeping it on your chest. So
Mhm.
kind of letting it out into the world is really, it felt really healthy. It was like kind of a way of letting go, letting go of all of this stuff that happened in the past. And now I'm in a position where I can kind of look back. I've worked on myself a lot, and I've healed a lot. And yeah, it's kind of like a capsule of time from a difficult time, but it's really great to be able to see it. And also to hope that maybe someone might hear the songs and they'll help them through a difficult time as well.
Yeah. So if you started writing your songs so young, how has your songwriting process changed since then?
I think I think it's more or less the same. I've always kind of, every song's different, so I'd either start with a melody, the lyrics, or the chords, and every song comes at a different speed. So I might write in a day, the other might take a couple weeks,
Mhm.
the other one a couple months. So I think the thing that's changed in my process is I've just kind of learned more about my natural process and learned to be more patient with myself. I think at the start, if I wasn't churning out songs, I'd get quite frustrated. I'd think I had writer's block and all that sort of thing. But now, now I really recognize that actually those dry spells, those sort of moments of block are kind of all part of the process. You've got to live your life and fill it with experiences to enrich the songs that you write and the art that you create. So I think now when I'm in one of those dry spells, I kind of just take it for what it is and focus on just living my life.
So what kind of things do you do to kind of, like you said, enrich your life and make the music kind of flow?
Um, I'm learning to surf at the moment. That's definitely one thing, and
That's
just
fun.
like just I honestly nothing special. I just live my life, hang out with friends, go on walks. Just I mean, lots of my songs are about difficult things in my life, but now I'm in a happier place. I'm definitely writing some more, upbeat, happy songs, more love songs. So yeah, uh, I guess just you don't have to do anything special to enrich your life. You've just got to kind of experience it and sit back and go with it.
That makes sense. Do you like learning to surf or is it hard?
I'm at the stage now when I'm starting to see that I'm getting a little bit better, so it's quite satisfying. But even if you're bad, it's fun just going out and getting tumbled around by the waves. I think, yeah, that's I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
That's fun. It's something I've always wanted to try, but I'm too
Oh,
scared because I don't want to get hurt.
no, you won't get hurt. You won't get hurt. You just got to cover your head when you go in the water. You'll be fine.
That's very smart, actually.
Yeah. I
Never
mean,
really thought about that.
I'm not surfing any massive waves, so I mean, I'm sure there is potential for injury once you get a bit better and go like the
Yeah.
waves get a bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it for fun. I thought I'm living in Sydney. Um, I think it's a very Sydney thing to do. It's the best place to learn, so I thought I may as well just do it now.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
So, oh, sorry.
No, no, it's all good.
Yeah. So, now that you're living in Sydney, what kind of, know, things around you are kind of inspiring your music differently than from before?
I think the main thing is that Sydney's a very sunny place. Lots of lots of surfing, lots of indie rock. Just it's a very active place, and I think that's kind of I find with the songs I'm writing out now, some of them that's leaching kind of into the sound. I say it's a sunny place, and it's thundering now, so today's not going to be a sunny day. But it's winter here, so we have a couple we have a couple rain days, and then most of the time it's nice and sunny. I think that just affects my mood, makes me write kind of more sunny music, I guess. After living in England for 15 years, it's nice to have some sunshine. I definitely it's definitely a welcome change. Yeah, and then I don't know. I don't consciously like try to write in a specific genre. I write all sorts of stuff. So I write like singer-songwriter stuff, some more upbeat, some more pop stuff, some more experimental stuff, and then like started a project with a mate a couple of days ago, which is going to be more kind of indie rock style. So yeah, I'm just experimenting with all the different types of music that they love out here, and yeah.
So, are there any genres that you haven't tried that you want to try?
Mm, I don't know. I'd There's genres that I like to listen to that I don't think I would try writing a song in, but I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. I do listen to a lot of music in Spanish, and I want to, and I speak Spanish, although not that well at the moment because I haven't spoken in a while. But I'm fluent in Spanish, but I'm a bit rusty. But I'd love to write some music in Spanish because that's kind of, half my family are from Mexico, and every time I send a song to my granddad, I have to translate the lyrics. So it'd be nice to not have to do that for once.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm sure your
think
granddad would appreciate it as well.
he definitely would. And I think when I was living out in Mexico, I found that I was getting better at Spanish in the way that um, I have written a couple of verses and stuff like that, but I need to just sit down and concentrate because if I'm going to write a Spanish song, it's going to be very grammatically incorrect, probably, and but that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, songs don't necessarily have to be grammatically correct.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, people have been making words up in poetry for ages, so I
Yeah.
can make some words up.
Yeah. As long as it, kind of makes sense in some way.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, but I'm sure I can make it make sense. I don't know. I need to I need to sit down and maybe I'll do an EP in Spanish or with more sort of Latin based sounds at least.
So when you were a kid, you were, going between Mexico and England. So kind of how did that shape the musical identity that you have now?
I think, I mean, with the sound of the EP, I think sonically it's very much sort of that UK singer-songwriter style. But topically, I think very much the EP is shaped by those life experiences of moving between the two countries and that feeling of displacement growing up. And and yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think um, I don't think Latin American music has had a huge influence on the sound of this project, but like I
Hmm.
said, it definitely on future projects, I think it definitely will. But I recorded all of the music in Mexico in a great studio there called Panoram Studios in Mexico City, um, and yeah, all of the musicians playing on the like playing the strings and the bass that they're all from Mexico. So yeah, I really enjoyed going back there and recording on my summer holidays. It was a fun thing to do.
That's fun. Do you think you'll record more there again?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably with my next project, I might do well. I'm here in Sydney, so it'd be
Mhm.
quite expensive to fly back
Yeah.
to to Mexico just to record. And also I can do quite a lot now on my just in my bedroom and then kind of flesh it out in a studio. Um, yeah, I have lots of material for the next project, so I'm kind of thinking about starting recording that now. So there's definitely going to be more music on the way, maybe
That's
even
exciting.
before yeah, maybe even before the end of the year, but who knows? I mean, hopefully it doesn't take me 7 years to release this next EP like it did the last one.
Yeah. So when you were kind of putting together the EP that you said took 7 years, how did you kind of decide which songs and then what the right timing to put them out was?
So the timing was totally just all up in the air, and then I decided finally I've had enough of having these songs in my pocket. People have got to hear them, so I just kind of decided to release them.
Mhm.
And then putting the EP together, I mean, I went to um, I went to the guy who produced my songs and with like I think I had like 20 or so songs and we kind of chose those ones as we thought they kind of fit together the best. And it was actually initially a 9 song project, but last minute I just there was one song that I just thought didn't fit
Mhm.
the sort of style of the project, so I dropped it, and maybe I'll release that someday, or maybe not. It's my little brother's favorite song as well, so he hates me for the fact that I didn't release it. Um, but I've sent him his own version, so he can listen to it whenever he wants.
Well, that's nice. You ever afraid he's going to release it for you?
I if he I don't know. I don't think he would, but if he does, so be it. It's not that I love the song. It just didn't work
Hmm.
on the project. It didn't make sense. So yeah, I'll probably revisit it at some point, or maybe include it on another project, because it's a very song that's very close to my heart as well.
I mean, that makes sense. If it didn't kind of go with the songs, then it would kind of feel off.
Yeah, exactly. It would have just taken away from the whole, because I think although the songs kind of span a couple of years of my life, and you can definitely tell that there's some stylistic change depending on who I was listening to at the time, they do really all kind of fit together, not just topically, and they all flow quite well, and it forms a, a good, yeah, it's like they all form part of a whole.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think it was I'm very happy with the decision, and yeah, I'm sure I'll release it or put it on SoundCloud or something at some
Hmm.
point.
Yeah, so, who would you say are some of your biggest musical influences?
So I think when I was growing up, my dad always used to put Coldplay on in the car. Um, I used to listen to Ed Sheeran when I first started writing songs, and you know, I think I found him quite inspiring,
Mhm.
seeing him with his loop pedal doing his solo gigs and stuff like that. And that actually is he's one of the kind of inspirations for me when I started writing songs that made it seem appealing and something like I wanted to do. Tom Odell, I listened to a lot. And then I also loved James Blake and Nick Mulvey, Ben Howard. I listened to tons of different artists, and yeah, I think they're the ones that really inspired my sound more. But then I also, um, yeah, I listened to lots of indie rock bands as well. I love Spacey Jane, Royal Otis, yeah, all sorts.
That's a lot of good influences all over the genres.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they make good music,
Yeah.
and I mean, I think, I don't know. I definitely think you can hear in some of the songs whose sound has kind of influenced who I was listening to at the
Hmm.
time. I think Ocean's definitely very Coldplay influenced. Then Pick Up the Pieces, maybe more experimental, a bit more James Blake. Um, yeah, so.
So, did you know going into those songs that you wanted like that particular one to sound more like an artist, or did that just kind of happen?
I think it just kind of happens. I think with in general with songwriting, I find that I'm far less in control than I like to think. So I think I just kind of start writing a song and it finds its own way. I'm not actively trying to come up with anything in particular, but the ideas come to me, and and then they form a song. Even lyrically, sometimes I don't know what I want to write about, and it kind of becomes a journey of self-discovery. And I figure out through writing a song about something how I really feel about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think in general, I try not to. I have set out to try and write songs in different genres, but definitely with this EP, I think it was just a matter of listening to certain music at a certain time and just naturally that being what I was, yeah, what influenced the sound.
Makes sense. So, in kind of writing the songs, are there any like personal discoveries you've made that you've been like, oh my God, I never realized that before?
I think, I think in this EP, not not so much. I think in general, it's more of a just like if I'm feeling like down or caught up about something and I don't know what it is, or I just feel anxious and I write a song, it will become apparent to me kind of what it is in my life that is causing that anxiety. So yeah, I think I'm trying to think of one of the songs. I think "Hello Home" is one of those. I think yeah, I think I wrote it when I was feeling down and out, and the first lyrics kind of came to me, and it was I think after going and visiting family, and you know that sort of feeling when everything's kind of changed a little bit and you
Mhm.
can't quite put your finger on it. And then when I wrote the first lyric, it became obvious to me that that was kind of what I was, what I wanted to write the song about, or what I was feeling in that moment. So yeah, I think
Makes
that's probably.
sense. Yeah, very introspective.
Yeah, I think the project in it is very introspective as a whole, and it's yeah, it's also quite cinematic. I think we I think we use like lots of strings, lots of cinematic sounds. Yeah,
Yeah. Was there any reason that you went more cinematic or it just kind of happened?
I just think they are quite cinematic songs. I think they you know they're quite atmospheric, quite emotional. They and one of my songs was Ocean was used in a TV show a year or so ago, and it was cool, and I was really excited. But I think they really lend themselves well to that.
Yes. What did you watch that episode back and then, just to hear your song?
I did. I mean, I found out when I was out for lunch with my dad, and it was the day I think yeah, it was the day that my girlfriend had come out to visit me in Mexico, and we'd all gone out for lunch, and then I got the email from my agent who had organized it all, saying, "Oh, it's going to be on the show," and it was that night as well that it was going to be on the show. So I scrambled to get a VPN together to be able to watch the TV, like because it's an American channel, and managed to. And yeah, it was surreal. It's kind of a big bucket list. Yeah, big milestone. I think for me is something that I've always wanted to achieve is hearing my music on a TV show. So yeah, hopefully it's the first of many, and I'm sure um, you know, I'm sure all of the songs would sound great on TV because they have that cinematic sound, you know.
That's really cool. I can't imagine like what your family and what you were thinking in that moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry by the way. I'm not sure what's going on in my apartment, but I think they've just started like building, has started some sort of construction. I hope it's not coming through on your end, the like relentless
No,
tapping.
not really.
Um, what was that question?
Oh, I
Sorry.
was just commenting. I said I can't imagine like what you were thinking or what your family was thinking at that moment.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. But yeah, I think surreal is what I'd describe it as. It, but also it felt right. It felt like, oh, it's one of my songs. This is why I do it.
Mhm.
It's yeah.
What advice would you give to any aspiring musicians?
I think one thing that I've learned, I think the hard way, because you know, is one of the reasons why it took so long for me to release this first project is that kind of waiting for the right moment and seeking sort of perfection can often get in the way
Mhm.
more than anything. You know, I think I was waiting for the right moment to release these songs, and then it became apparent that there's never going to be the perfect moment, and that the songs just needed to be out there, and they were doing nothing for anyone sitting in a private link in my pocket. So, yeah, and in general, just with writing songs as well, I think it's a learning process that I think everyone kind of has to go through. That you got to know when to stop tinkering, and and yeah, I think. that's probably the main advice that I wish I'd been told. But then if I'd been told it, I probably would have ignored it and found out myself anyway. So
I feel like it's one of those things you're going to tell people and they'll still be like, okay, I get that. And then they'll
yeah,
just keep going with it.
exactly. But you kind of it's you've got to kind of learn it yourself as well. Um, and yeah, um, here I am 7 years after, or 7 or 8 years after starting to record my project, and it's finally out, and hopefully the next one is a lot quicker. Yeah,
But it's out and that's all that matters.
exactly, exactly. And I'm really happy with the song. It's funny. I've lived with the songs for so long, and I still love them all, and I love the way they sound, and I'm super proud of them. Yeah, heard them
Awesome.
a million times, but still love them.
Have you ever gotten bored of them?
I think I've fallen in and out of love with them. I think mostly what it is that because I wrote them about specific, issues I was facing, I
Hmm.
kind of, I, I thought I move on with my life, and I find that maybe I no longer resonate with the lyrics in that certain way. But the great thing about songwriting is that you don't have to have lived the experiences of the songwriter to connect with the songs. You can kind of attach them to your own personal experiences. So
Hmm.
now, although I wrote one of the songs about something, for example, I kind of connect it to different things going on in my life now, and find that a good way of reconnecting with the music.
Makes sense. Yeah, because you've changed since you've wrote the songs too.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I've grown up a lot, lived a lot of different life experiences. So yeah, definitely changed a lot as a person.
Yeah. So before I ask the last question, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about today?
I think just just to tell people listening that who I am. I think I've covered a lot of it, but yeah, I'll say it again. I'm Moy Cohen. I'm an independent singer-songwriter from England and Mexico, and I've just released my debut EP, Overgrown, which is out now everywhere. So yeah, go listen to it and let me know what you think.
Okay, so the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
The soundtrack of my life. At the moment, as in the song that I'm always listening to, is that kind of
So I'm letting you interpret it however you want.
okay? The soundtrack of my life would have to be. I love the song Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen. That's a song that I always have on repeat. Um, Green Eyes by Coldplay is another one that's part of the soundtrack. I'd say there's quite a few different
Hmm.
songs in the soundtrack, but these are the ones that are kind of comfort songs that I always go to and listen to all the time. Um, and trying to think of others, I've kind of had a mind blank now that you've asked this question.
It feels like everybody does when I ask the question.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things I don't think about what music I listen to, and then suddenly I'm asked about it, and I have like it's the same with when I get asked what my favorite movie is or something like that. As soon as I get asked,
Hmm.
leave my brain. Um, I also what have I been listening to? Three Tree Down by Ben Howard is another one that's been on repeat, and then um, I listen to a lot of music by Nick Mulvey as well. He's one of my favorite artists at the moment. So yeah, I think that's my soundtrack at the moment.
Soundtrack.
But
I
it
like it.
changes every week, so
Yeah.
or every month. I don't know. I actually tend to just put songs in a playlist and rinse and repeat them forever, and then
Hmm.
I eventually change a couple of the songs in the playlist. But I listen to lots of the same music all the time.
Yeah. So where can our listeners find you so that they can follow you and then hear the next EP when it eventually comes out?
Yeah, I'm on all social media as Moy Cohen Music. And yeah, I'll be posting updates about gigs and new music and everything I'm up to on there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed this.